Hello everyone, got an interesting video for you today. It's actually to do with my Amazon wish list. I've got a subscriber who I will call Jim for the purpose of this video. He got in contact with me and just to tell me that my Amazon wish list was a bit of a mess, but wanting to know if he could purchase anything for me to help the channel grow. So I checked out my wish list, realised it was full of junk and past Christmas presents and things that I'm not interested in anymore. So I did a bit of a clean up, got rid of the junk, and let him know that if he wants to purchase anything, he's more than welcome to. So he had a look through, he purchased a couple of little items, and a few days later these two parcels showed up in the mail. Now I'll put a link to my wish list in the description below. You're more than welcome to take a look. Just a caveat that there's absolutely no reason for you to purchase anything. There's no I'm not asking you to. Jim just did this out of the goodness of his own heart, and he appreciated hard work and wanted to reward it where it was due. And I think he wanted to check out a bit of soldering skills and see what I can come up with the projects as well. So yeah, let's go take a look and see what I got through the mail. Okay, first item. This isn't like my normal post bag, so I'm doing it two camera. Mainly because I know what they are. So this is a Digispark. It is an Digispark AT-Tiny85 development board. So it's running an Atmel AT-Tiny85 microcontroller, and it has a USB power and interface. And you can program it using the Arduino environment. And it's kind of basically like a mini Arduino, it's like a mini Atmel 328 chip. You can do small embedded projects with it that require just a few pins. So you've got 4 or 5 pins, or 3 or 4 pins, depending on how you use them. And there's a VCC and a ground. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And there's a bunch of header pins get soldered, and there's this one. Yep, these actually go together. This is an ESP8266 12F Wi-Fi Internet of Thing embedded board. You all know what they are. And this little board, that is an ESP8266 SMD adapter board. So you would solder the ESP8266 board onto that, and it's got some header pins that you solder on, and it makes the board more breadboard friendly. And there's a reset button and there's a flash button, so it's easy to program, easy to work with. I think the only thing that's missing is a power regulator, so I'll have to provide power to the board using the breadboard. But let's take a look. Very nice static bag. This one. I do like these static bags with a ziplock. You can actually reuse them instead of the heat shrunk ones. Kudos to the seller. So that is the ESP8266 chip. It's the 12F chip. So it's got the metal can and it's got all the breakouts for the pins. Very tiny. Hopefully you can see that. And this is the adapter board. So it has all the pin breakouts, and then the chip will basically get soldered onto there. You can see that. And then you have some pins, which you would then, try and hold this up, which you would then solder to the board, and that should go into your breadboard and be nice and easy to develop. So if we go back to the Digispark Tiny 85, this is going to be put into a one keypad project that I've got that I want to finish off. It's using a 3D printed case, the Digispark, and a Cherry MX key with a nice click button, just to become a one key keypad for my PC, and you can program that to do functions, or you can do it for certain keys. And I think I'm going to use the one button library. Who's it by? One button library by Mathertel on GitHub, and that allows really basic control of a single button, and you can do single presses, double presses, long presses. It deals with debounces, and it's really quick and easy. You can get multiple uses out of a single button. So maybe I'll throw in an LED in there as well, just because LEDs, right? Video to follow for that one. However, for today, I'm actually going to have a go at soldering up this ESP8266 board to the adapter. I've been practicing some SMD soldering and it hasn't gone very well. There is a video that's supposed to be coming up, but the first one went pretty badly. So I'm still working on that. However, I can solder some header pins, and I've also been able to, in the past, solder the edge connectors or castellated, which is the side-on edge solder pads, which are a little bit easier to get with a soldering iron. So let's go take a closer look at the parts and solder them up, and then if we've got time I will make a quick little project to turn it into an actual Internet of Things device and actually do something with the internet, with the Wi-Fi and with the pins, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I've had a little look at this board. There's not a lot going on online about it, only than the Amazon listing, and all it says is it takes 3.3 volts, it has the reset and the flash button, and that's about it. It has got a big capacitor there, which I'm guessing will smooth out the power and help the stability of the ESP8266 chip, and that's about all I can say, other than we'll get it soldered up. Got it set up here on a helpful hand, but if you know about these, if you got them from eBay or Amazon, you'll know that they are useless hands. However, they are good for one thing. That's the chip. Showing you in the light. I tried tracing a few of the tracks, make sure everything was kind of labelled right, and it takes the pins and it puts them to the edge essentially. And then you hold the flash and you press the reset and it will boot the chip into program mode. So without further ado, let's just get some soldering done. Put that useless thing out of the way. Get your breadboard. This is a good little tip. If you connect your header pins to whatever device, doesn't have to be this board, any breadboard friendly device, you put it onto the breadboard, and then all your spacing and all your level and alignment is all done for you. Got my soldering iron, put it on, let it heat up. I'm still yet to print out my PCB vise. I'm still yet to also make my soldering iron, so I'm still doing it the bad way. I do have a cleaner though, that's good. Move him out of the way. Whoa. Okay, here we go. So you heat up the pin. What you should do is do them at either corner, just to tack the board down to the pins. I think I like the idea of soldering more than the actual implementation. It's fascinating to watch, but actually doing it is a bit pain for me. Kind of get bored very quickly, and I forget to clean my tip, don't we all? So that is the headers done. Pull it out. Ta-da! So there they all are. Not a bad job. They'll work. You can always test them with a continuity tester on your multimeter, but I trust myself. And now when you go to put it in a breadboard, it just goes in. Easy peasy. It is very wide spacing though, so you don't actually get a lot left. You only get one pin, which is a bit tricky. Never mind. This is just for prototyping. So now we need to get that on here. So the pads have got some solder on them already, so I'm going to actually use this existing solder to help tack it down. Now there's lots of different techniques for doing this. There's ones where they hold the solder and they whiz along with a soldering iron, or you can just go in and tap each one. I'm not confident enough on film to whiz along and it all magically solders together, so I'm going to do them very slowly, one by one, and just make sure I've got a nice neat job, and then we'll go from there. With these castellated connections, you've got to make sure your tip is very fine, it's clean, your solder is flowing, and a good bit of flux from a flux pen will always help things out no end. So quick, tell you what, if this isn't broken by the end of it, quit stalling, get soldering. Solder. Pop this on. Ideally you should really have some blue tack or some tape to tap it down, but I'm going to do this by eye because I'm crazy. Just a little tap and it should just hold, which it has. Now, similar idea, you don't want to go along, you kind of want to tack them all in. Make sure your alignment is okay. I'm kind of applying a little bit of pressure on the board itself, just to help bed it in. Now, I'm pretty happy with that actually. With the help of flux and some good solder pads, I think that's actually done. With the ground and the VCC pin, I just want to make sure there's solder in there. Quite difficult to show on the camera, but they are done. So I have the ESP8266 chip on the breadboard, powered up to 3 volts and ground. Got a little mini breadboard power adapter, and it's connected to 5 volts, and it kind of worked. See the little blue LED pop on. I'm just hoping perhaps there's just no sketch on it, which is probably about right, but it powers up. So let's try and just get a blink sketch on there and program it. Okay, now here we have the ESP8266 board all wired up. I've used a little USB to serial programmer. It's actually designed for ESP01 boards, but it does the job. And you just have to connect the right pins: TX, RX, enable, GPIO 00, and get some power to it. I've uploaded a sketch, which is actually a CheerLight API, which queries the CheerLights color API, and you check that with ThingSpeak, and it pulls back the color and it will light up this LED. So once we've actually got it all programmed, we don't actually need this. So if I very carefully yank all that out, this is all we're left with. So we've got the power board, positive and ground, which powers up the board. And I've also got a 5-volt rail going to this LED. Now this LED has got VCC and ground. It's got a single pin. That's because this is not just a standard LED or an RGB LED, it's actually a Neopixel. It is a diffused 8mm Neopixel, which is pretty cool. So it looks like a big LED, but in fact it's a WS2812 fully programmable LED. So let's plug it in. Got my 5-volt source here. Just going to the sketch, connecting to Wi-Fi, and there it is. It is now speaking to the internet. It's got a lovely white colour. So if we speak to CheerLights and tell it to change it to orange, it should go orange in a few seconds. The script pulls every 30 seconds, so ta-da! There we go. Let me just turn the exposure down a touch. Basically, the ESP8266 is now pulling the internet, connected to my local Wi-Fi, and it is getting the colour, the RGB colour, which is on CheerLights, and it is lighting this Neopixel. If we reset the sketch, it does a little rainbow. It starts connecting to the Wi-Fi. When it does, it flashes fast, and now it's connected. We just change the colour again. Let's have purple. So you basically tweet CheerLights and you give it a colour out of the predefined list of colours, and CheerLights will update all the lights to purple. There you go. Magic or what? This is now running on my battery bank, so it is fully wireless, and yeah, an Internet of Things. You can expand this and connect the LEDs to your Christmas tree. You can connect it to a big cloud that you could hang on your wall. I have one at work which actually cycles through a ring of Neopixels, and every 30 seconds one of them changes, a bit like a clock, and it just cycles round and round all day long, happily changing the colours. And that is it. So we've got the board, we've got it connected, and we've got it working. All in all, that's a good job. I hope you've enjoyed this, guys. Don't forget, if you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so, and you'll get notified of any new videos. And a special thanks out to Jim, who made this video all possible with the purchase of the ESP8266 board and the adapter. Thanks very much.